Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Basically, this is the 52 number part of the PHP. In this, basically, we are going to discuss now array. One of the person to that why here basically without array, we can't work. So we can work basically without array also basically we can work. But sometimes basically assume that basically we are having some more than one lakh record, and you want to do some temporary calculation business logic. Basically you have to maintain, there are many business logic, so for that basically, and that table basically is not changeable also basically. It's not modifying that also basically here it's assumption. So one person told that like for that basically you can create the array and dump the data into that array and do the manipulation and literally basically dump that array data into the table basically. So this is here basically you can use the variable basically, but variable basically will create lots of memories basically. 1 lakh variable basically will create 1 lakh multiplied by number of columns. So you can just imagine basically how many array basically, how many variables are going to be created. For that basically we are using arrays basically. For that type of manipulation basically we are using array. And array basically are good also basically, also people say. So in that basically array basically we have to do the manipulation. So for that basically many functions are available which is created by PHP group basically. So see, these all are the functions. Array function, array basically itself is one function basically that will create the array. So like this basically many arrays basically are there, split into chunk of the arrays. It will split the array basically. Then basically the array column returns the value from single value into the input array. Then this array count is there, count of the value of the arrays, array difference difference count. This all basically you can easily for that basically there is one website basically. In that website basically you can able to you can basically run these all functions basically. So create one array and just run the array basically. In downside basically the examples are also basically given. See basically these all are the functions. Array keys are there, array maps are there, array sorting also basically you can do through array. Then basically the push are basically the inserting more something randoms basically are there, reduce are there, replace are there, replace value for the first array value. See array reverse basically return the reverse order. So array, for one person told that select star from table name, and basically by default it's ascending order, but he want in descending order, that is a reverse order, so he will do descending basically. Select star from table name, order by descending basically. So it's same exact. So you have to assume that basically array is equal to table. So whatever things basically you can do in the table basically, that basically you can do in array. So lots of people says that the table idea basically was came from the array only basically. Lots of people say whether it is correct, that basically we can't say, but we basically can see the things now basically, how the arrays are created, what basically the array facilities gives. See basically these all are the functions basically. Ascending descending orders, count a current means current element of the array. When you are running the array, that time basically it comes into the picture. So like this basically many array stuff basically are available. Mostly basically few functions basically are used with, mostly maximum basically 10 or 12 functions basically are used basically, not more than that basically. Now basically we will see the PHP global super global. So you can say as a command also basically. In PHP basically many commands are there basically. To do this basically you want to do this. If you want to do that basically then you have to use this command. If you are in this page and if you want the data from backside page, Then what is the command? So like this basically you can say as a command. But PHP group basically say that basically we have given one name basically, that is PHP global variable super globals. In that basically these all are the stuff basically. Star global stars sorry dollar server dollar, this is a global request host get files environment cookies session, basically application is also there, but here basically might remove the application basically. So see basically each and every step basically we are going to see here basically. Global variables, global is an array that contains all the global variables. All the global variables basically when the system basically runs. One of the person told that yeah, global variables means what? So one of the person told that PHP is one software, right? Basically, it is created by set of groups. So when PHP runs basically, they set their own environment basically. For example, one company basically told that basically we want to do investment in Vadodara city. So they will set their environment basically wherever basically they do the business. That's their method basically. So same way basically whenever the PHP is running that time basically PHP say that basically we also basically sets our environment, and according to the environment basically we basically works. So array basically when we create the array basically creates its own environment basically. When you create any global variable then basically the global variable creates its environment basically. Environment means the boundary basically. In the boundary basically they do their task basically. Because PHP is running in some operating system no, basically. So they have to draw the environment basically on the base of the operating system basically where they are running basically. So see basically the global variables is global variable, what is global? See basically global variable. This is the way basically to write the global variable. PHP gets nothing or an error by referring the global variable without any syntax basically. See basically. Now basically the here basically in global variable basically it refers all the system variables basically. That also you can system for example one person told that we have setted the environment, and in environment basically we have hundreds of local variables, hundreds of parameters. So like this basically from which data basically you can able to refer that all basically. So that basically global variables basically are available basically, which basically gives the all the information basically of the system basically. Now basically it's a server basically. So super global variable server basically holds the information about the headers, path and script basically. So this is the basically one of the command basically, or basically you can say super global variable basically, which gives the header part, the path basically. For example, one file is running, so that file basically is running on the base of which path, script locations, everything is PHP is running, and it's running on the which location basically. See basically the command server PHP myself, server name, HP host, refer user agents, script name basically. So these all are the internal variables basically, which will give the server name, host user account, script name, what is the file name, script, which script is running ongoing. So see basically returns the file name of the current executing. So for example, once we have written this command, in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about this topic.